What's up guys, it's Paleo here, and today I'll be covering two different methods of applying an image to an object in Photoshop. First one is using a mockup, which is a template already set up to have an image placed on it. This is by far the easiest way, and I've attached a free download to this mockup in the description, as well as another site called Graphics Burger that you can use that contains free mockups for your designs. Personally, I try to use mockups that aren't as generic or that I haven't seen a lot, just to make the design look new and refreshing to users as well as other designers. Because if you're a designer and you've been around, you've probably seen the same mockup used hundreds of times by many different designers, and a lot of them are on Graphics Burger like that, but I would try to find ones that have less downloads, or maybe even shop on other sites like Behance or Creative Market and try to buy some, or even create your own. Normally on mockups, the layers are easily distinguishable by name, so as you can see here it says change, and this one says front design, and that's the front design on this, and the side design is obviously right there. And if you double click on the front design on the little square or rectangle here on the layers icon, you can see that it says free mockup download, and it's just set up in here. So let's say we wanted to remove all these, and let's just say we wanted to remove all this as well, and we wanted to just have that base, and we hit Command or Control S to save this PSV file. Once we go here, you'll see that it's changed, and you can see that it has a bunch of different layers here that you can also edit to make your design look better. So for this one, let's say we want to change this, and let's say we want just another square on here, a circle, or some icons of some sort. Obviously, in this case, you can use your own design or whatever you'd like. So I'm just going to make a new layer, a circle, that's fine. Make another circle. Let's make it white. Then I'm going to make another circle down here, and I'm just going to make it a different blue, maybe like that. And I mean, obviously you can use any design, but I'm just going to do this for now. So let's save that. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then since this one has two different mockup pieces that you can use, so this one has the side design as well, which I'm just going to delete these, take this, save this, we'll see how it looks. Okay, it looks cool. Let's just say we have some filler text on here so we can make a new layer, a text document right here, and let's just say it starts right here, and we'll align it to the left, and then we'll have that as that dark blue again. So now we can duplicate this text. Maybe we want to change it up, I accidentally duplicated it too many times there. So let's say we want to make it white, or change it up a bit, we can just do that like this. Maybe change the size to like 24, and then change the the vertical spacing on this, so you can set it to auto. There we go. And let's just say we want a little square in here. Now obviously this is a very quick package design type idea that you could use. There we go. And once we go back to the original, you can see right here. And let's just say, for the sake of this tutorial, that this light is too bright and it's not showing the text well enough. You can easily just change this light down a bit, and then maybe change this highlight down a bit as well. And then I think the shading is fine. Let's see. Yeah, maybe remove that shading all in all, and then turn this one down a little bit. No, I like that one up actually. But that's how you can easily apply it to any kind of mockup that's already a template, and it'll kind of be the same on every mockup, where it'll have like a change file or a folder, and it'll tell you what to change. So the front design, obviously, the side design, and they'll normally have this little icon here that indicates that it's a smart object. And some other mockups might have variations such as color, and I believe this one does too. I made it a long time ago, so I don't really remember, but we can see here. Yeah, so you can change the bottom one here to like a blue, as well as the above. I'm pretty sure we can just go into image, adjustments, human saturation, or maybe something like that. Not really too sure how blue that is. There we go. That's fine. Obviously the scene looks a little bit fake because it's 3D rendered, but that's kind of the style that it's supposed to be. So that's the first way, and the second method of applying an image to an object is creating your own mockup, which you could sell if you have the rights with the initial photo, or you can use it for future products. So let's start with your base image. I'm just going to use one that I found on Unsplash. It is made by Clement H here, as you can see. I'm just using it off of Unsplash because they use a lot of free to use photos and whatnot. Now what I'm going to do is try to see what size I want to create the rectangle, which is going to be used as the mockup. So let's say I want to create it from this corner to this corner here. And it's kind of this blue color. So if you have an exact size that you'd like to use for the mockup, what you can do is just use the rectangle and click, and then let's say we want it 1920 by 1080. This one's obviously going to be a bit different because I think Macs aren't 1920 by 1080. Mine is like 1600 by 900 or some weird size. I'm pretty sure because it doesn't fit on the screen on Streamlabs, that's for sure. So let's do 1600 by 900 maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Honestly, if you don't know, or if you just want to use the exact size that the mockup kind of uses, and have the user sort of base their design or scale their design to your mockup, you can just do this, and instantly what I'm going to do is set this rectangle here to a smart object. And now that it's a smart object, you can double click it and you can see the PSB opens. I don't like to use a solid color for my mockups when I'm just creating them, so what I'm going to do is delete that. And I took a screenshot of my screen just to kind of get the idea, since it is a screen anyways, it should be able to do this pretty well. And yeah, as you can see, it's not the same, which is normal for my computer. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to hit Control S. And as you can see, it's kind of updated there, and obviously it's not on the object at all correctly. So what you can do is hit Command or Control T to control the object, then go to Distort. And I'm going to grab each of the corners and set them to where it is on the actual object. So this one should be about right here. This bottom one should be right here. There we go. This one should be about right there. And then this one should be about right here. Now if we zoom out, you can see that's a pretty decent example. So first things first, after I see this, I'm going to turn this off. And you can see that there's a light coming from this side, as you can see on the back of the wall, obviously. And you can also see if we grab this and we go along this solid color on the computer screen, you can see that it gradually gets darker and darker as we go this way. Now what we want to do is add a light to our mockup. So what you can do is create a new layer, hold Alt and select in between the layers here, which will sort of mask this layer onto this one. And then we can use the brush tool. I like to set it to a really high setting on the size and then have 0 hardness. I'm just going to scale out so we can see what this looks like exactly. And I'm going to make the brush white. There we go, so I'm just going to put it right here. It's a little bit dramatic for this mockup, so I'm going to set this to a soft light. I'm going to kind of just turn it off and on, see what looks good. And I'm going to change the opacity down a bit because it looks a little bright. And also, a lot of computers and stuff might use a lot of bright images and bright colors that wouldn't really be seen as that bright in a real life mockup or a real life photo. So what I'm going to do is use the adjustment layer here, and I'm going to select the hue and saturation. And just make sure that is also like alted or masked onto this bottom layer here. And what I'm going to do is turn the saturation down a teeny bit. Obviously that's too much, so I think right there might be good. And maybe turn down the lightness a little, because screens might not be pure white as it would be on that piece of the design here, as you can see. I think turning the lightness down kind of gives it a little more of a real effect. Perfect. Yeah, I think that looks good. And we can turn this off to see if that light works well. I think it does. Maybe we can turn it up a teeny bit. I think it's good as it is. Now the last step is if you want to use this for other images later, what you can do is rename the layers here. So this one, this is the lighting. So we're just going to rename layer 1 to lighting. This is the desaturation. This is the mock-up portion. So I'm just going to say change this. You know to change this. And then this is the background. So I'm just going to call it the base image. If you're going to sell your mockups, please make sure you have all the right to do so beforehand, because you don't want to end up in any trouble of copying others or using others' assets and whatnot. But I think that's everything you'll need for creating a basic mockup and knowing how to easily apply images and designs to items in real life. If you'd like me to create an advanced tutorial involving not so uniform objects like t-shirts or other items, please let me know and I'll see what I can do. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video and comment what other ideas you might have for a mockup or ideas that you have for future videos. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day and peace out.